Hey, Caitlin. My name's Peter. I am a social worker. I was informed a little bit about your case, but I just kind of wanted to get your perspective on it. So what's been going on?
Well, I just recently had twin baby girls.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been a really awesome time with them, and I'm really excited about that. But my mom recently got diagnosed with cancer,
Oh no.
and it's been, yeah, a really stressful time dealing with that. And I just had my babies, and so dealing with the fact that I have to take care of these children and I now have to take care of my mom
Yeah.
has been a really stressful time on my life.
Okay. So is your mom staying with you?
No, I mean, she's not staying with me, but she does. I mean, she always comes over. So she does live fairly close to me. It's within a few minute drive. So I can constantly check on her. And now that she's been diagnosed, I've been trying to get her to stay with me more often
Yeah.
so that I have her with me and,
Mm-hmm.
and my children at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is she's not living with you, but you're taking care of her. You're
Yeah,
kind of being her caregiver, as well as the caregiver for your twin baby girls.
exactly. And that's why it's just so much added stress I thought that I was going to have a smooth pregnancy and focus on my children. And I love my mom to death, but it's just been so hard dealing with taking care of her and my kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. When did she tell you about her diagnosis?
Well, she actually tried to hide it from me,
Oh.
and she didn't tell me until about a month ago. So that was hard because we have such a close relationship that I thought she would have told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But she told me that I guess why she wanted to hide it is because of the fact that she wanted me to have a healthy pregnancy. And I guess the fact that we're so close, she wanted everything to be perfect. And I've been dreaming of this day. And so for anything to kind of be negative about it, she was trying to hide.
Okay, so if I understood correctly, she just told you about her diagnosis right after you had your babies.
Yeah.
Okay, and so how did you take that? I mean, I assume you were kind of stressed even after having the babies, because then the pregnancy's over, but then two lives just begin. So how did you take that?
It was hard. I mean, I feel like my whole world kind of stopped because here I am, you know, having these two beautiful babies, and then everything's so positive and happy, and then all of a sudden I get this terrible news about my mom who is near and dear to my heart. And for something like that to happen you never imagine that happening to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And we already lost my dad, and so that's why she is alone, and that's why I've been um, taking care of her as much as I can because
Mm-hmm.
we're her only family now that really have been able to support her through this.
Yeah. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. But um, what type of cancer was she diagnosed with again?
She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it does run in some members of our family, but we really didn't think that it would be happening to her. I mean, she had regular checkups. I even went with her to them, and I also get screened myself. So it was one of those things where you think you're healthy, and then
Mm-hmm.
one day you're not.
Wow. So do you know how long ago she diagnosed? Like, what was the time period between her finding out and then telling you about a month ago?
She had known for about a couple months.
Okay, so it's still pretty recent.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is, and that's why we're still trying to understand and cope with everything and what exactly entails going having breast cancer, and so we're really trying to still gather up, as far as for me, the information behind this so that I can help her in the long run when it becomes more difficult.
Okay. Well, that's something I can help with. I can definitely for our next meeting, I'll have some information available to you. For I'm sure she's already been to the doctors since she's got diagnosed, and she's probably working to fight this as hard as she can. But I'll see if there's anything else that I can come up with as far as different different aspects of breast cancer that you can learn about. So that I mean, for me, it always helps if I'm informed. Then I'm a little bit more at ease since I know what could happen and what will probably happen. So does that sound like something you're interested in?
Yeah, definitely, because it's hard going online and researching and
Mm-hmm.
finding all this information when twins, I mean, so much
I bet.
constantly to take care of. And so I haven't really, had the time even to start researching myself. And that would really be helpful for me because I just don't have the time to do that.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, if I understand everything right, I'll definitely be getting those documents and pamphlets prepared for you for next time. But as far as the twins, what are their names again?
Their names are Jacqueline and Caitlin.
Jacqueline and Caitlin.
And I named one after me because that is my great grandma's name too.
Oh, okay.
And so we kind of pass it down the line. And I know some people think it's kind of weird, but I mean, I'm happy with it, and I know my great grandmother would be super thrilled about it. So
Well, those are great names.
thank you.
But how are they doing health wise?
They're doing good. I
Okay.
mean, we haven't had any difficulties as far as developmental issues or anything like that. So I've been very lucky about that because I know having twins, there can be a lot of different health issues pertaining to that. But we've been fortunate enough to have two very healthy babies.
That's fantastic. And so are they in daycare or are you staying home with them or what's the
Well,
situation?
right now, I do stay home with them. I did previously have a job,
Okay.
but my husband and we decided that it'd be better if I stayed home with them for the time being, just because they're our first kids, and I kind of worry about them, and I don't know how I feel about daycare right now, just because
Yeah.
I don't know. First time mothers, we can be a little crazy about how they're kept, and wouldn't want to put them into any dangerous situations. So I'm a little overprotective, but for now it's working for us, and I do eventually want to go back to work,
Okay.
but not until they're old enough and in school. So that's years down the line at this point.
Gotcha. My wife was exactly the same way, so I completely understand.
Awesome.
But was your husband able to get any paternity leave at all at the very
No,
beginning?
that's been one of the challenges actually that I wanted to discuss, because it's been hard because he works a full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at home during the day with two babies, and for most women there's just one, and here I am with two. And not only that, having to take care of my mom along with this. So I I was relying on her to be able to help me, which she does still help me, but I mean she can only do so much, and I don't want to put the added stress on her because of what she's already going through. So it's been a real hard time finding the support during my time off, time during the day and things like that. It's just been a difficulty.
Wow. So it sounds like you have um, a solid support group or solid foundation when your husband's home because he's
Yeah.
able to help a little bit.
Mhm.
But when he's gone, it's a little bit harder because then you're pulling double duty with the babies and then worrying about your mom as well.
Exactly. It's been, we really are fortunate for the times that he gets off work at
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock, but sometimes he does have to work late, and it can be even more hard. And I also, for myself, I don't want to put the stress on him because he's already working full time and supporting our family.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't really know how to handle that when he gets off work because I don't want to put the extra burden on him and
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that.
Okay. In your opinion, is there good communication between you and your husband? Are you talking about these issues with him, or are you just letting everything pile up on you?
I've mentioned it a few times, but I've kind of held it to myself just because everything we're going through right now. We are a family. My husband's super close with my mom too, and so he also is feeling down, and
I bet.
he's it affects him just as much. And so I guess I just don't really want to put the babies on him after he gets off, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather keep it to myself.
Okay. But instead of keeping it to yourself, would you be interested in having any resources to be able to maybe collaborate or meet up with other women or other parents who are in the same boat as you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely would help my situation a lot because that way during the day, I can go out and do something, and it, it won't necessarily, have impacts of when my husband gets home. And that way,
Mm-hmm.
when he does get home, we can just focus on being a family. So I think, yeah, that being able to talk to other women and just even having like little play dates with our
Okay.
children would really help me.
Okay. So maybe staying away from the daycare side of it, so where you can still
Yeah,
be with them and make sure everything's going okay,
exactly.
but still having that interaction with other adults and
Yes.
having your kids be with other kids as well. It's really important to you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't, just kind of like with how I haven't had time to research about, all the stuff that goes on with breast cancer. I haven't really found the time to search for any support groups or, any like where you can go be with other moms and
Mm-hmm.
kids and
Okay.
get out there. So,
Okay. Well, you're in the right place because I don't personally know of any off the top of my head, but the nice thing is that I'll have close to a week before our next meeting, and so that gives me enough time to get all this information together to where when we meet again, then I'm going to have all these resources for you, and I can even contact some of them if you want. So that I know you're really busy, so I'm just going to do everything that I can to make sure you don't have to do the calling and setting appointments
yeah.
and see what we can do for you.
That would definitely help a lot. And just because, everything is so stressful, and I know I want to do these things, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just so hard finding the time between taking care of these babies and then my mom. And so that would honestly be so helpful for me.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, what other concerns do you have? I mean, you're a first time parent for about a month now. Are there any um, I guess any other questions or resources that you're looking for that we haven't discussed?
Um, I mean, I think not pertaining to my children because I did do a lot of research on that
That's great.
before we had the babies. And same with my husband. We went to the classes and we did a lot of that because we did have the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also before I found out about my mom. So
Yeah.
as far as that, I think I'm okay with that. But I think maybe something that would help would be finding a way to maybe talk to other moms that are going through how I feel. And like
Mm-hmm.
you said, kind of maybe support groups. And I know we touched on that, but I think specifically, even it doesn't have to be moms, just other individuals with a family member that has cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's really new to me. And I think something like that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's really great that you're already thinking about that, as
Mhm.
well as coming to where you can get the resources that you need, rather than trying to find time that doesn't exist to do all of it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, let me go ahead and make sure I got everything right. So, from what I remember, your baby's about a month old.
Mm-hmm.
And for next time, I'll go ahead and look into some of those support groups for individuals who do have a family member with some type of, not necessarily cancer, if that's not a big deal for you, but just some sort of sickness, because I feel like everyone can
Yeah.
relate just to especially the added stress, with everything.
Exactly.
And I can't guarantee that they're going to be in your exact situation because everyone's pretty
Yeah.
unique, but we'll definitely find some good support groups for you.
Okay.
And I'm definitely going to look into more of your zip code type area, to where we can find other places or playgrounds or activity
Yeah.
centers or anywhere where you can go, to where they have either infant classes or maybe a larger range of infants and toddlers, and you can see how some of those parents interact with a little bit older babies, and maybe there'll even be some twins there. I don't know. But is there anything else that you'd like me to look up for you?
No, I mean, I think that we really touched base on a lot of the things that I'm going through, and thank you for,
Oh, no
finding
problem.
these different things for me. And I'm looking forward to our next meeting because, that's a tremendous, it's honestly relieves me of some stress. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Well, that's good. That's what we're here for. So does about this time next Monday work for you? Can we go ahead and schedule that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
That'll give
that
me plenty of
works.
time, and hopefully that's not too long to wait for me to get everything.
No, I think it will be okay. And, this time works best for me just because it is when my husband comes home. So,
Mhm.
even if I can, I'm going to try to do a little research myself. If I get to it, probably not.
Okay.
But no, this time works for me, and I really look forward to finding more information out. So,
Fantastic. Well, if you need anything else in between, then you have my number.
okay.
So feel free to contact me with anything else that I can look up for you, or any other
Okay.
questions that you have. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you.